Well, welcome to another edition of 42nd Street Pete's Grindhouse. And you know what? Let's pull a story out of this book because there's stuff in here I haven't talked about, and you can get this from me still. Volume 2 is in the works and hopefully might be available before the fucking holidays, so who knows? But anyway, also, I'd like to thank some fans because they take care of Pete sometimes through the mail, which is okay, and my sincere thanks. Now that I've just incriminated myself. Okay, going back to this whole thing. Of course, it's no big secret that I drank a lot in the 70s and I hung out with a bunch of drinkers. And of course, we always tried to outdo each other. Matter of fact, I'll share something right here, and I don't think anybody would have the balls to even drink this concoction I invented. It was called the Silver Bullet, and this has nothing to do with Coors beer because we didn't even know about Coors beer back then. This horrible concoction consisted of 2 shots of tequila and 1 shot of white cream de mint on the rocks. Tasted real minty going down. Didn't taste that great coming up. As legend has it, I drank close to 10 of these in one night. So you gotta figure 3 shots of liquor and 10 drinks, that's like fucking 30 shots. Yes, I could do shit back then. Not so much anymore. But anyway, we used to have contests. And the ultimate contest became what I call drinking for fun and profit. There was a whole group of us, close to, over 30 guys hanging out, a bunch of fucking useless, degenerate layabouts. We all had jobs, but we were basically useless, degenerate layabouts after work. So, we devised this contest that everybody threw $10 in, and it was about 30 of us, so the prize was $300. And the object of the game was we would start drinking at the ass end of Kearney near Harrison and work our way up that road until we hit North Arlington, which was basically a dry town, then hit Lyndhurst, drink our way down the road to Lyndhurst, and then venture out of town. The one bar that see, all these towns had different ordinances regarding liquor and bars and stuff, and the one that was the closed the latest seemed to be, I think it was Fort Lee. I know it was Fort Lee because I wound up there, which may have been 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, the whole thing was, you had to basically get up to Fort Lee, and once you hit Fort Lee, you had to go into New York and go to this after-hours bar on the Lower East Side, which didn't have a name, which was like 3 flights up, knock on the wooden door, that type of shit. And the only proof you would have to have is the receipt from the George Washington Bridge or the Lincoln Tunnel going into the city. That would prove you actually went there instead of cheating and went the fuck home. Well, by the time we hit Fort Lee, there was maybe a dozen of us left. And, and this was also driving impaired, very impaired at times, which I was really fucking good at back then. But anyway, whoever I was riding with dropped out. So I had no wheels. So this one guy showed up named Bobby who wasn't involved in the whole thing and asked me what was going on. And I said, well, here's the deal. I'll split the fucking prize with you. We leave now, shoot down Route 17 to Route 3, take Route 3 to Lincoln Tunnel, boppity-bop over to 14th Street, right down, and we're at the fucking bar. And then we go back to the Linford, which opened in Lyndhurst at 7 o'clock in the morning. Great plan. Well, we took off. I, of course, nodded out in the front seat, and a bump woke me up. And as I opened my eyes, I saw what appeared to be an 80-foot fire hydrant right in front of us. I looked over at Bobby. Bobby had fallen asleep. That was it, lights out. I woke up to basically shattered fucking glass, blood pouring in my face, nose smeared all over my face, and flashing lights as ambulances and cop cars got there. We were taken to the hospital. Oh, we hit this at 70 miles an hour. I don't know if I said that. We were taken to the hospital. I basically had my forehead fucking shredded. My nose was broken. There was a solid piece here that went through here and out here. And eventually I found out later on that I had hairline fractured my neck in the whole thing. They said basically the only thing that saved me from breaking my neck completely was that I was shit-faced and just smashed into it and bounced off. So, I was basically, let me see what happened. My nose was broken. They tried to x-ray me. I fell out of the chair. I had an earring in my ear. The nurse wanted to take it out. I couldn't get it out because the thing had gotten bent somehow. It was a fucking mess. So when I was released from the hospital, I had a neck brace on. My nose was swollen. I had a bandage around my head. Basically, I looked like fucking Bozo the Clown because I looked, I had long red hair. They drove past where the car was, and you could see the nice indentation of my face in the glass. Now, you would think that the winners of this, whoever got back to the fucking bar, might have, donated the $300 to my cause, but actually they didn't. Weirdly enough, I had to get an insurance settlement, being that I was in the passenger in the car, and Bobby thought I was suing him, which wasn't the case. I said, look, it's the insurance company, that's all it is. So I got out of that whole thing. But yeah, that's one of the little stranger stories of, the drinking and driving shit. Like I said, drinking for fun and profit. I honestly don't know who fucking won. I can't remember. And probably of those 30 guys, I don't know of any that are still around. You hear dribs and drabs and things get back to you about people leaving, but that's it. But anyway, I gotta promote some stuff here because that's the name of the game. It Came from Hollywood. Great book. This is number 3. It has Al Adamson, the lost interview rather. Scott Vincent sits down with Robert Wool to discuss Hollywood Nights. Robert Frazee talks with filmmaker J.D. Ferguson, mastermind between Dark Knight of the Scarecrow, and there's a ton of stuff in here. Great little periodical. Another one that has been written by one of the Grindhouse Resurrection contributors, Rocky Calavito. If you're a fan of Jack Ketchum's work, Richard Lehman's work, and other sort of authors that specialized in wet work, you're going to love this fucker. This is very twisted and very deranged. You've got a fucking nasty vice detective, you got a nasty hooker, you got a drag queen, you got a serial killer, and you got a blind man. And this is all set in what could be New York back in the 70s, and these are the night scavengers. You got to check this one out. Rocky's a good guy, and this book really kicks ass if you're into really wet, splattery fucking tales. So definitely check this one out. There's also, let's see, March 31st, the 1st and 2nd will be the Cinema Wasteland Convention up in Strongsville, Ohio. And some friends of mine will be up there, but they're having a Texas Chainsaw Reunion Massacre. Let me see, I got this thing queued up here. Alan Danziger was one of the victims. Grandpa John Dugan. Kim Henkel, who I believe wrote it. He's never been in a show before. Terry McMinn, another one of the victims. Ed Neal, the hitchhiker. Daniel Pearl, who wrote something. And William Vale, who, I don't know what, he played Kirk. Okay, I'm not up on some of this stuff. I haven't been to a show in a long time. Some of the other ones are Roger Barrett. Jeannie Bell had canceled out. She's in a jump roping competition of all things. Go figure. Nick Benson, makeup artist. Olivia Brown from, 48 Hours. Count Gore Duvall. Alex Vincent from Child's Play, who's on another run with the TV series, I believe. Lou Wagner, another character actor. Ona Z. I don't know what the appeal of Ona Z was. I sold some of her tapes because they came in a grab bag. I don't know. She's going to be there too. I guess that's their porn offering for that weekend. My friend Dr. Gonzo has purchased a couple dozen Grindhouse Resurrection #2 for sale up there. He'll be in the back of the room. My other friends, the Mummy and the Monkey, will be doing some presentations up there as well. I'm no longer involved in these conventions, like I said, and some people go, well, isn't it time for a glorious return to Chiller? Well, it's not time for a glorious return to anywhere because I don't reach out to do these things. If the offer may have been right, maybe at one point, yeah, but you got to figure something else. I'm getting older, I got 2 dogs I got to take care of, and to board my dogs for 3 days isn't going to happen. And anyone who could watch them is also involved in the scene, so they can't watch them. So the chances of me appearing at any conventions now or in the future are pretty much slim and none, but never say never. I don't even know what I'd have to offer at this point. I don't want to be the guy sitting there ass raping my fans for $20 a signature, because that's bullshit, and I've been fucking down on that since day one. But, you get to see me here, 3 times a week sometimes, if you're really unlucky, 4. But, like I say, I don't rule anything out, but right about now, I really can't see this happening. But, by all means, if you're into Cinema Wasteland, go up there, check it out. You can shop the 5, boutique fucking DVD companies that infest the place and basically overcharge everybody, but what the fuck. But anyway, you're going up there, have a good time. If anybody's going to be in the area and wants to go out and grab a bite with me, you know where to contact me. Just hit me up on Facebook or email me. We can make arrangements, because I am meeting some people for lunch on Friday, and I'll be available all weekend. So that's our show for today. Thanks all the new subscribers for checking us out. Thanks all the old subscribers for hanging in there. And above all, stay safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.